evening, guys. Just grab my phone so I can get the chat up. Oi. Now, how is everybody tonight? Just thought I'd do a stream tonight, seeing as there's been a bit of a lack of action the last couple of days. I've been having some connection issues with the service, to be fair. I don't know if anyone's had the same thing, but every time I've tried to play GT Sport recently, it's been pretty ropey. I don't understand. Oh, just plug my phone in. I need a longer cable. I used to get a really nice long cable with the old iPads, but you don't get it anymore. So I'm having to stretch over and reach my phone every 2 seconds while I try and have a look at chat. But yeah, how is everyone tonight? Good to have you all with us. Evening Jim, evening Chris. Hey Thomas, hey Harvey. Oh, wicked, how are you finding it, Chris? You got a G29, didn't you? This game does transform with a wheel, to be fair. It's completely different. So you guys know the deal this evening. We're going to be trying to get our #1 time back, first things first. So before we do any races, that's the aim. And the Bugatti Vision GT. I can't actually tell whether this is a souped up Veyron or a souped up Chiron. Someone commented earlier on my Reddit thread saying that it wasn't a Veyron, but there's no Chiron in the game, so I don't know. I don't know if it's... To be fair, it does look very Chiron-y when I see the like the sides of it and things like that and the front lights. Yeah, I need something like that, Cab. 100%. It's a nice long cable. So you just sit with your phone plugged in the wall, just chill about in bed, watching your favourite YouTuber, Super GT. He did a good video tonight, actually. When you're free and you've got a bit of time tonight, guys, definitely worth watching. Some great battles with some F4H guys. Can't find my TV remote, so if my game sound comes through, just let me know and I'll find a way to turn it down. Alright, so as you can see from the standings, earlier on today we were first with a 116.4. We were first by quite a decent way as well at that point. Since then, there's been a few guys that have had a really good crack at it. As you can see, the top times are extremely close to one another. We've got a 16.3 for the first 4 guys. And 3 of them covered by 0.006 of a second, which is insane. Callum in 3rd there. The new addition to F4H, flying the flag. 2 F4H guys in the top 5, which is absolutely awesome. But the aim tonight is to get that #1 time back. It's not going to be easy. I've seen PT on the leaderboards a few times. Extremely fast driver from Portugal. But we'll do everything we can. I know earlier my optimal time was a 16.1, so it is doable. How long it will take, I do not know. Going to be a bit rusty as well on this, I think. So this is basically the first time I've turned the wheel in anger for a bit. Awesome car and track combination, this. Really helps, a little trick with this one. Is to push the brake balance all the way up to the front. Helps stabilise the car under braking. Whoa! That's how quickly in Group 1 things can go wrong. We basically brushed the grass and we were dead. No coming back from that one. No matter how much skill you've got, that car was going off like a missile. Let's get the cones out of the way. I don't even know why I've got them turned on, to be perfectly honest. well. I missed it. Let's not get that cone out of the way then. It's really odd when the car's got lots of grip and it's going at high speed. Your turning's fantastic, but as soon as you start scrubbing speed off, like I did there, like intentionally trying to hit that cone, the car just understeers like crazy. It's one of those cars that you've really, really, really got to lean on. Poor first corner there. Have to be super smooth through that first sector as well, which I wasn't then. Carry some insane speed through that second corner. Oh, you're going to hear a lot of clanking and banging from the wheel as well, because the G29 really does make a lot of noise when you do a lot of counter steering inputs and things like that, which you're going to get a lot of in a Group 1 car, just because of how quick they are and how fast you have to change direction and things like that. Just nail that cone this time. It's not mugging me off 2 laps in a row. The only thing I can really fault the Logitech for. It's absolutely fantastic as a wheel. Absolutely love it. And couldn't recommend it highly enough. It's durable, it's really nice in the way it's built. The build quality is great. The materials are nice. It's robust. My only criticism is because it's a gear-driven system. These clanks that you hear are the gears slipping. Which obviously for a wheel isn't ideal when you're trying to be as precise as possible. Oh, a bit deep into that chicane, as I say, a bit rusty at the minute. I think I'm trying to run before I can walk. I'm trying to get straight back up to the 116.4 pace of earlier, rather than allowing myself to warm up or whatever. So what I mean about the understeer at low speed. Let's have a quick catch up with the chat and see what everybody's saying. What we got. Yeah, the G29, the best thing about the G29 for me is the pedals. You notice it when you go up from using a controller or from using a cheaper wheel like the Driving Force GT or something like that. Or even the G27 that doesn't have the brake pedal mod. The pedals are so much better, so much easier to use. It's not even the fact, like a 3-pedal setup's nice, it's not necessary in GT Sport. It's pretty much every car that you're going to be using has a sequential gearbox. But the pedals have just a little bit more weight to them. It means you can be a bit more precise, they feel better. Can't take that first corner to save my life at the moment. Shaved a lot of time off just by being smooth up that hill. A bit early on the power, so we had to lift out and get out of it. We might, at some point tonight, actually put a lap in, guys. Love that sequence of corners. It's so committed through there. And the car has so much grip. Even with running 0 TCS like we are here, the car just sticks. It's so quick. Much better through turn 1. Nice and smooth up the hill, carrying speed all the way up. Still a bit slow in sector 1. much more speed through turn 2, however. Much better chicane. Lost a bit of time there, not changing up to 6th. The car just hit the limiter. To the 16s, which is where we want to be. Really good first corner that time. Pour through the left-hander though. See we're dropping time all over the place. Just a little bit too far over the curb that time as well. It's fine margins in this car. You make a mistake and it's good night. You don't get a second chance. You really having to push so hard. .5 as our optimal so far, so we've got a little bit of time to shave. As I say earlier, whoa, making too many mistakes at the moment. I say earlier, my optimal when I set my fastest lap first time around was a 16.1, so the number 1 time is beatable. I think on the right lap this car would probably do a 15. But it would have to be a perfect lap, it really would. Slow through turn 2 again. Faster through the chicane, but carried a bit too much speed. Much better final corner though. Shaving those tenths away. Getting closer and closer to where we need to be. Still losing probably about 0.2 of a second through that first sector on my personal best. I think I'm turning in a little bit early for that left-hand sweeper as well, which is costing me a whole heap of time at the moment. That chicane is scary every time you go through it. Word. That's the gear. Trying to look at chat. better run through turn 1 that time. It's going to be a good first sector. Much better second turn 2. Oh, terrible chicane though. That may well have been the lap, had we got that right. Huge, huge, huge penalty as well. So while we're running that down, we'll catch up with a bit of chat. See what you guys are saying in the chat. Hey Shapuska, how you doing, man? No online lobbies tonight. We'll do an open lobby on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday will be a good day. Yeah, chicane is make or break. It's very, very, very difficult. You've got to be so committed through there, and you're going to get probably 3 laps to every one where you don't get it right. It's just one of those things. You have to dial something like the chicane back for the race just to be more consistent. You can't attack it like you do in qualifying every time. It's such a lottery. A car to trail brake, car to learn how to trail brake. Easiest car to learn to trail brake, or anything rear wheel drive really. Get yourself something nice and, I don't know, I wouldn't say slow, but kind of middling in pace. GT86 maybe. Bit deep into turn 2 that time. Fast on the exit though. Of the chicane. And the final corner. Bit of a shame because again, that could have been a fast one. We're getting there though. We are definitely getting there. We're not going to be... Oh, first corner, absolute nightmare scenes. We're getting there, he says, as he tries to stack it into the first corner. Yeah, I don't think this is a million miles away, guys. Maybe in the next 5 laps we'll hit this one. I can feel it coming. Jeez, 23-second penalty. I can tell you for free, I did not gain 23 seconds through there. That's what I mean by that chicane. It makes or breaks your lap, and unfortunately, you're on the limit that much through there that more often than not you're going to get it wrong. Unless you're some sort of hot lapping robot sent from the future to destroy my confidence. Can't tell if a tight line or a wide line is best through that last corner. For first corner. 10th down already, but that can be made back up. Second corner was absolutely on the limit. Terrible chicane. Another penalty coming my way. The annoying thing is we are so close. Like, this is not a million miles away. Hopefully it's not one of those where you're so close for the next 2 hours. But it'd be really nice to get a #1 time on live stream. Bit deep into the first corner, which has cost us. My run up that hill must have been terrible because I keep gaining half a tenth on myself every time. Let's get out the throttle then just to make sure the car got round. Keep locking up the inside front going into there, so I'm going to, if my wheel will let me, bring the brake bias rearwards just ever so slightly. See if that makes a difference. Right. We've got a good run across the line. Terrible first corner again. To wait too long to get on the power through that chicane. Wow. So put the brakes back where they were. Definitely didn't work that. Don't know why, but this car to me just feels so much better with the brake bias set all the way to the front. It seems a lot more stable under braking. Much better through sector 1. Oh, come on. Probably difficult to relay over video, but basically as I turned in left then, the front left wheel was just in mid-air as I was trying to turn back for the right-hander, so I basically got no turn in for the right. So that when it did bite, I basically went straight over the chicane. Kind of like overcompensated to bring the car back. There's cones everywhere. Trying to sabotage my lap. coming. Oh, stay in. Come on. That chicane! It's killing me, guys. It's killing me. I can't play with cockpit cam, Gabriel. I just can't do it, mate. I mean, the cockpit in this looks very cool, but your vision is really impaired, I find. I've always, ever since PGR, always played from the bumper cam. It's just the way I feel the most comfortable. I think the majority of people probably play third person, but for me, bumper is it's the way. That chicane is really killing me at the moment. Really frustrating how if you go over the first two bits of the chicane, it's a 23-second penalty. You go over the last bit of the chicane, it's like, yeah, it's a second. It's a little inconsistency in GT Sports penalty application system. I mean, yeah, it should be a deterrent to go over a chicane. In qualifying, I think it's good enough that it just uncertifies your lap. Slowing down for penalties in qualifying is a bit of a waste of time, really, isn't it? Should just say, yeah, this lap doesn't count, sorry. Oh my god, that was fast. No, again. Oh, that chicane is killing me. I have to pay your respects. RIP in peace, my lap. Again. We are so close. The worst part is we've not nailed that chicane yet. Once we nail that chicane, our optimal time is going to be at a 16.0, 16.1, something like that. Then hopefully we've got this in the bag, because we've not been... We weren't on our purple lap, we weren't super fast through sector 1, we made a bit of a mistake. There's definitely time all over the track. You saw how much time I made up in the second corner on that last lap. It was absolutely rapid. Right, that is a good first sector. It's the fastest I've ever been through the first sector, in fact. No! Please! the despair. We will do this, guys. We will do this. That first sector was so fast as well. That's the gutting thing. A whole bunch of time at that hairpin. That was so close to being right as well. So close. Let's see what chat's saying. Oh man. Cheers, McTavish. Yeah, you might be right, Adams. No, me and Rossi are different people. JSR Rossi, I think you mean. Not a good start to the next lap. On the track, you scumbag. Lost a lot of time. two minds as to whether third out of the chicane's faster. The car has so much torque. We'll try it next lap. Unless I'm on a fast lap. Which I doubt I will be because I keep messing that chicane up. I believe that's number one. Bit of a scruffy lap for it. But we'll take it, whichever way it comes. I think you guys are probably sick and tired of me lapping at this point. Hello, Hobbs 101. 115.983 optimal. I know that car will do a 15. 100%. That car will do a 15. This is where we find out someone's improved their time. But yes, guys, back to number one. We did it on stream. Number one in the world. / Europe, because we don't know what number one in the world is. If anyone's there on the Americas region or whatever and wants to let me know what they've done over there, feel free. That car will definitely do a 15. I think I'll be lapping all night, however. Nice to take that one back, though. And again, really, really tight at the top. Top 5 people all within 1/10 of a second. Top 4 people all within 1/100th of a second. That's basically a blink. Absolutely insane. Well, I think for certain we're going to have to do some races in that, because it would be a shame to waste that pace and not do any races. Pad out the pole position stat a little bit. So we'll definitely get involved in the next one. Can't wait for the messages again to begin from number one for telling me off for using counter steer assist. As if all of a sudden by magic, if I don't use it, I'm going to be 4 seconds a lap slower. Thanks, guys. Glad you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was helpful if you guys are struggling a little bit in today's daily race. Group 1 can be a pretty unforgiving class. I mean, you saw then just how many laps I threw away in pursuit of the time. It's one of those you've just got to stick at and keep going with. Sorry, I've got my missus trying to talk to me here, trying to do Morse code over the bedroom. I don't know Morse code. For those of you with better halves, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The one where they do all the actions and plenty of mouth movements, and you just look at them with a kind of semi-just nodding face. Like, yeah, And then if they look at you, if their mood changes, if they look at you and you start getting angry, it's like, oh no, no, no. Just one of those. Oh, is there a... Oh, flipping out, just absolutely smashed off. Is there a thread on GFT Planet about me, is there? Oh man, link it. I'm gaining notoriety. Oh man. I will gladly turn counter steer assist off and run the same time. If that's what people want. It doesn't make that much of a difference. Yeah, we'll turn it off now. If I can, hang on. To be fair, if anything, without counter steer assist, the car feels more compliant. It feels a lot pointier, feels like it can hold a line a lot better. As you can see, turning it off's rendered me absolutely incapable of driving. Cannot do it anymore. The British sarcasm coming out. What you will always find, unfortunately, with people that play these kind of games is that there's always someone for whom you do not play the game their way, so it is not the correct way. Unfortunate, but that's the way it is. Honestly, I can tell you, hand on heart, in this car, counter steer assist makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. Not a slight bit. Little clutch on the wall, that would have been quite a quick lap then as well. Let's wait for the race. Quite looking forward to doing a Group 1 race. I've not done one in sport mode yet. Don't know whether that's a good thing or not. I'm going to put my crutch back on, guys. Sorry. Can't drive without it. But yeah. Not done a Group 1 race yet. Not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I can see it being a bit crashy because they are a bit more difficult to control, but hopefully we'll get away at the start. Might not be the most thrilling race you've ever seen, but if we can get away, then it gives us a pretty good chance of having a pretty successful night. Let's catch up with the chat. The hairpin in second gear. First is just way too high up the rev range. Honestly, I'd be inclined to even try third. This car has so much torque that in the bottom end of the gears, that's where your power is, not really in the top end. So although being in first sounds fast because you're at the top end of the rev range, you're actually going a lot slower than you would be in second or maybe even third gear. I'm not sure what is faster. I think that might be where the time might be. Hey Vitor, nice to have you here, man. Hopefully you're enjoying it. We do love a good stream, so stick around. If you, for everyone actually, for quite a few new faces in the chat, feel free to add me on PlayStation. It's F4H_Rosso. You can see it on the screen there. We do open lobbies where we get together and have a bit of fun. We'll do that on Thursday. So feel free to add me. I'll make sure to add absolutely everybody. My friends list is getting full at this point. I don't know how many friends you can have on PlayStation, but we're definitely getting up to that point. But yeah, we do open lobbies, so come and get involved, Vitor. Be great to have you with us. One thing I've not mentioned, I will be competing in something called the GTSRL coming up. Should be fun. That'll be streamed live on Twitch, and I'll probably stream it as well on my YouTube channel. I'll definitely, either way, record the races. So we'll make sure, obviously, that my live stream doesn't interfere with theirs. I don't want to be taking away viewership from them or anything like that. But yeah, be worth having a watch of that. It'd be nice to get back into the competitive groove of things, do some competitive racing. That's coming up very soon. I'll be doing the North American and European leagues. Hopefully try and win both of those. But it looks like a pretty decent league. I think the majority of it will be Group 3, which will be fun. And tuning is allowed, which is unfortunate for me because I cannot tune. Let's go back out onto the track for a bit. My counter steer clutch assistance. Honestly, it feels no different. It is exactly the same. Oh no! And the new paint job after that. Extremely cool car. I wasn't sure what to think, so I've got, as I say, a lot of you will know this already, but I came over from Forza. Used to be a Forza racer. I was a Forza racer for 10 years actually. Enjoyed some pretty decent success over there, but Forza for me has got a bit shit, for want of a better word. So came over to GT Sport, and absolutely awesome decision. I think third might be the gear out that hairpin, you know. But yeah, I wasn't sure what to think about the Vision GT cars to start off with, because I've seen them before. I've heard of the Vision Gran Turismo kind of project and stuff like that. I think it started in like Gran Turismo 4 or something like that, or maybe even GT5. But I don't know. I wasn't sure. I was like, are they just putting these cars in to pad the roster kind of thing? Would we prefer actual real cars? But I think they do actually have a place in Gran Turismo. They're wacky, they're fun. I mean, where else are you going to get to drive a Group 1 race-ready Bugatti? Extremely fun. What I might do actually is that SRT Tomahawk with the absolutely insane Batmobile style aerodynamics. I'm going to do a video on that because that car is absolutely insane. I know a lot of you will have seen the Vision GT cars in the past, things like the Red Bull, I think it was called the X something or other, which was made in partnership with Adrian Newey and Sebastian Vettel in the older games. Absolutely ridiculous vehicle. Like, it was designed with no limitations in mind basically, and the SRT is kind of like that. It's a ridiculous vehicle in Group X, so I'm going to do a video on that and see how fast we can take that around a track. I know another YouTuber has done a video of him taking it around Tokyo, so I don't know whether to see if we can throw the gauntlet down and do the same track as him and see if we can beat his time, or do a different track, or I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to figure that one out. I don't know if it'd be dickish of me to kind of make the same video, or I don't know, because in a way it'll generate traffic to him and stuff like that. I would obviously give him credit, things like that, pop him in the description, so it might get some views headed this way. I'm not sure, but we'll definitely do a video on that car because it's absolutely insane. Like when you brake, all of the aero comes up. It's like a transformer. Absolutely ridiculous vehicle, honestly. Oh no! I don't believe it. That lap was going to be a 15. Like, out of nowhere, that lap was going to be a 15. That, up to that point in that sector, we were 3/10 up on our best lap. Oh, honestly, Callum, I don't know if you're watching, but I would have got a 15 then. I was on a 52.8 through the second sector. But all I had to do was do the last corner. Oh man, that is an absolute wounder. Yep, G29 with a playseat evolution. Yeah, I was a 52.8 through the second sector. It would have been a 15.9 or a 16.0. I absolutely nailed the chicane. I feel a bit upset, I'm not gonna lie. Couple of 116.8s in the lobby. Oh man, that is gutting. That would have been such a fast lap. Yeah, it does, yes. It has a little button on the top of the hub that changes it from PS3 to PS4 compatible. Oh, have you queued as well, Callum? That'd have been a good race. You never know, we might see each other in the next one. I need to get my driver rating up to S, I think that's what it is. It's, yeah, this might be the night. You never know. I don't do enough online racing, that's the problem. I find myself getting sidetracked by absolutely random stuff. Yeah, I'm still a bit upset about that time. That would have been so fast. I had a 10th to play with in the first sector as well. Flipping heck. Thought to myself, Callum, that's the first F4H12 on GT Sport. Good work, my man. Oh, that is an absolutely horrendously placed cone. Just saw it at the last minute, otherwise that would have more than likely launched me into oblivion. Trying to be nice and neat and tidy through the chicane rather than carry a horrendous amount of speed. Too early on the brakes through the hairpin, however. This guy behind us is well in our toe, that's the issue. He's not going away. Again, horrendously placed cone trying to annihilate us up the hill. We are not going slowly here, but for whatever reason, we cannot shake this guy off. No, that's bad. It's a penalty. One mistake I think is going to cost us this race. I'm pretty confident this guy does not have a penalty. I do fall short. praised. Bit of an unfortunate ending for us. But he's done extremely well, to be fair to him. Extremely clean, stayed on my tail, just sucked in that toe. Might not have had the same outright pace, but within half a second, all he had to do was stay on my tail. It shouldn't take too long to build your safety rating back up, to be fair. Sportsmanship rating, even. As long as you keep your nose clean for the next couple of races, you should be straight back up to S. I think when I got dropped, I did a particularly dirty flight to the front race on Interlagos, which is on my channel. I got bumped down to A. I basically got speared a couple of times in the race. And I think it took me one race to get back up. So sportsmanship rating isn't that difficult to build, it's driver rating really. That's the big one. Should have won that race, but we'll come back with a vengeance in the next one. It was a good one, and Rose did well. He was extremely quick. See what time Callum got. 16.1. Rapid. Definitely be in the low 16s, high 15s if we'd have got a chance to complete that lap. Very disappointing. Extremely cool to see 2F4H at the top of the leaderboards though. Extremely cool. Not an unfamiliar sight in Forza, but breaking new ground on GT Sport. Extremely nice to see the team actually grow into more than just a Forza team. I don't think there's a, well, there is a Group 3 race today. It's Suzuka, isn't it? Not sure. Can't remember what the races are today. Oh. Sure, there's a Group 3 race today. Tyres and fuel at Suzuka. So you should be able to run your GT3 cars. Stacked it. Nearly went into orbit then. Couldn't save that one, unfortunately. We can absolutely go insane on this lap, I know it. Brakes. Penalty go down, did I? That 15 is coming. It is. Most definitely. Good work, Callum. What 15 did you do? Have a quick look, actually, can't we? Did I just goof? No, I didn't. I'm still in. Pace. I'm going to get that 15 as well, I'm telling you. When it comes, it's going to be absolutely insane. What was your second sector time? Do you remember? Yes, Steve. "17 is rapid. You just honestly have to lean on this car so much. Like when you think that you're at the edge of grip, it's got more. It's insane. The car just literally sticks until it doesn't stick, and then you're dead. He's in this chat, Ronzi. It's Maluk810, Callum. Another F4H member. Very quick. Shame it keeps putting us in different lobbies, however. Right, we've got a score to settle in this one. Can't let Ruz win 2 in a row. It's a bit odd how it splits lobbies. I mean, you've got 116.3, 116.8, 116.9 in one race, and then a 118.8, 119.6, 121, 125 in a different race. And then a 122, 123 in a different race, and then a 127 in his own race. And then 229s just chilling. And then a 132. And then a 202. I'm not entirely sure. I know there's another lobby going at the same time as this. Surely there's a better way of mixing these two. Because it's not fair on the guys that are D-rated, that are absolutely pushing to the max and being popped in with an S-rated driver in Ruz, and obviously me an A. It'd be demoralising. Like if I was, you know, one of those guys running a 22 and you come into this lobby and you think to yourself, what's the point? Right, let's try and break away this time. And the benefit of this race is Ruz has got a guy behind him who is pretty much on his pace, so hopefully he's going to be looking backwards rather than forwards. Always the temptation when you've got a guy right behind you. Well, to be fair, he's straight in my toe, no messing about. No messing about whatsoever. I'm going to leave the inside open. Unfortunately. Whoa, flipping heck. So early on the brakes. Yeah, unfortunately, not a great deal I could do about that. I was carrying so much speed through the second half of that chicane. By the time he was back in front of me, there was absolutely no time whatsoever to get back on the brakes. I think this is going to be a difficult one to get back through as well, because the pace differential is so high. I think we're going to find it very difficult. That was scary. Oh, again, very scary. Do not like overtaking in Group 1 cars. Probably still a podium in this for us. First is gone, he's checked out. Unless he makes a mistake, we are resigned to the second step of the podium, I think. The second step is very much open. Huge overspeed on the Italian ahead. Should be a relatively straightforward move as long as he gives me the room, which he has, to be fair. We're resigned to another second position, unfortunately. Just one of those unfortunate things. I really couldn't have avoided him. I tried taking the maximum outside line and he just came across the track in front of me. And at that point, unfortunately, it was good night for both of us. I think probably what I could have done different, potentially, is defended his move. Forced him at the outside. Could have maybe thrown up a different scenario, but I don't think there's any point overthinking it too much. It's just one of those racing incidents. Unfortunate. You never set out with the intention of ruining someone's race either. If I could have avoided him, then I would have done. Nice quick lap to finish. We'll head straight into the next one. Again, just one of those things. Didn't actually finish too far away from him after his penalty. There's no point, I don't think, getting too upset about it, so it's just one of those things that happens. I hope, obviously, I'll let him know in chat afterwards that I couldn't avoid him. It's unfortunate. As I say, I'd rather have a good race with him, like we did the race before, than it mess up both of our races, but it's just, yeah, it happens. Especially in cars like this where you're driving at the absolute limit. You've got a lot more grace, even though you're driving quickly in like a Group 4 or a Group 3 car, and you know, pushing that car to its limit. You've got a bit more grace in, you know, saving a situation or whatever because the cars are travelling slower. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, if you're watching Ruz, I couldn't avoid you, mate. I'm sorry. I did try. So 2 second places so far tonight. What we'll do is we'll have a quick look at our driver rating, just see where we are. I reckon with a couple of race wins, we're going to be very close to pushing that S rating, which we very much need for our Nations and Manufacturers Cup when they come around. Right, Callum. It's time that number 1 switched hands again, mate. Let's see what we can do to get this beast into the 15s. If you're wondering why I picked a yellow car, by the way, it's a common fact that yellow cars are actually faster than other colours. Bit more streamlined. Paint's a bit lighter. It's worth 0.2 of a second. It'd be interesting to see what the other cars can actually do at this track. And the only reason I got in the Bugatti is because the Bugatti was fastest at the time. I have a feeling the Porsche and the LM55 would both be fast around here. I'll say that's why I said it would be interesting to see what the America's lap times are, because they have a tendency to use different cars. I know there's a lot of a period of time where Europe was leaning quite heavily on the Alfa, whereas the Americans were using the GT86 and having great success with it. So different approaches sometimes yield very similar results. So interesting to see what they're doing. It's a bit of a shame. I was saying this earlier. Like, I understand sport mode split in the regions for latency and ping's sake, but it's a shame that you can't go into sport mode and just like with R2 or L2 or something like that, just switch between the regions and see what the other regions are running and what their replays are and what cars they're using and things like that. It's obviously nice to know that you're doing well in Europe, but on a particular circuit or setup, you know, the Americas could have the advantage. You could be using a certain vehicle, could have different lines, one of their guys could be, you know, just inherently faster, and as a competitor you want to see that. You want to be able to see his lines and see his replays and stuff like that. I know the Americas in particular has some really fast racers. Asia has some really quick guys as well. And you want to be able to see them. You don't want to it's kind of segregated, which isn't the way for the online portion of a game to thrive, really. Well, don't get me wrong, I think the online in GT Sport is fantastic, especially when you compare it to other racing titles. But there are improvements that could be made. Like being able to see what other regions are doing, like just standard time trial leaderboards. I would love... Oh, Jesus. I would love the ability to... get that cone out of the way, missed it again. Cone's mugging me off. I would love the ability in a lobby to, like in Forza, set the lobby to just one car, restrict it to one car, so you can do one make races, things like that, 4 stock races in a certain vehicle. The ability to invite people into lobbies would be absolutely fantastic. So then you have to join off people, join off lobby codes. It's just it's an ancient way of doing things. Like, there's been better ways to do stuff for such a long time that it's inexcusable, really. And when was the last time you had to join a lobby off a bloody 16-digit alphanumeric code? It's just ridiculous. It sounds like I'm moaning. I am moaning a bit. I do love a moan. You'll know that if you've come to the stream before. But for the most part, GT Sport is very good in the way it approaches its online segment. It's just little things that can be changed that I'm sure they will address. Just let it down just a little bit. That's a quick first sector. No! Oh, I don't believe it. Oh, that would have been absolute insanity again, that lap. That was a 52.6 through the second sector. And I've chucked it at one of the easiest corners on the track. Oh my god. Nightmare scenes. Honestly, when I nail this lap, it's going to be absolute insanity. Same thing again. Hey. Shame this little session has to end because I've set myself a really nice marker of a lap. Penalty coming up any second. Third just doesn't give you enough on the turning. You'd have to turn back. You'd have to shift a second, then short shift to third, I think, to make that work. I am still at it, yeah. It's not so bad because my teammate has #1, so if I'm going to lose it to anyone, I'm glad it's Callum. Taking a little bit of a while to match make. Maybe we might actually win one. Make good on this pace. I'm not won a single race from pole yet tonight. This is definitely a race where we can make it happen, for sure. Just got to just break the toe. It's the toe that really keeps second and third in contention on this, I feel. Having a 0.6 of a second gap. It's a shame stuff like the Toyota and the Audi aren't as quick in Group 1. Be nice to have some cool Group 1 races between the Audi, the Toyota and the Porsche. That's where Vision GT cars kind of are a bit of a contentious point, because do they really belong in a class with motorsport icons like those three? But then again, you've got made up cars like the Group 3 Beetle, so I guess variety is the spice of life, isn't it? People would complain bitterly if Group 1 was made up of 3 or 4 cars, so. And I do say variety is the spice of life. Seems to be an awful lot of Veyrons or Chirons or whatever they are. Bugattis, we'll say that. I don't know if this is like a contentious point or not, but I've never really loved the Bugatti Veyron. I could never love it. I don't know why. It was too over-engineered and soulless for me. After the EB, I think it's the EB 110 as well. It's just, I don't know. Definitely more of a, I don't know. It's weird because you say like, or I say even, that the Bugatti was over-engineered and a bit soulless, but then the bit of a brave one. Have to be careful there. Sorry. Yeah, the McLaren F1 for the time that came out was extremely cutting edge. So I don't know whether the Veyron will improve, like in its. Trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. People will grow to love it more over time. It'll become more iconic over time. So yeah, it's just one of those cars that I found it really difficult when it came out. There was a massive load of hype about it. Obviously Top Gear covered it extensively. And I just never really got it. I don't know. Again, controversial, but it just strikes me as a car that's not built for passion. It's built for engineering purposes as a show car. All over the show. It's a good job second made a mistake. Probably the worst I've driven in one of these yet, and we're getting away with it. But at least we're having a chat. I say it's a chat, it's kind of a one-way chat at the moment, so I can't read the chat and drive. I've not ascended to those levels of Neo-like Matrix yet. these cars require a hell of a lot of concentration to drive. Curb on the left-hander. Well, I really want to look at the chat and see what you've been saying about the Veyron, if anything. I feel like I'm probably going to go back to a chat that's not had anything said about the Veyron. Either way, this Vision GT version of whatever Bugatti it's based on is a huge amount of fun to drive. Absolutely no doubt about that. Got a win in the books. Hopefully sneak fastest lap at the end here as well. Not quite. But we'll take that. That wasn't quite as fast as I thought. I'm on a wheel, G29. Yeah, the seat creaks a bit of a creaky seat, but yeah, the wheel makes most of the noise. I don't think either control method is faster. There's benefits to using a pad. You can be more direct with the pad. Benefits to using a wheel, you can be more smooth with a wheel. Immersion wise though, you won't beat racing on a wheel. It's much better. It takes the game and the immersiveness of the game up a level. And I've been hugely impressed with GT Sport on the wheel as well. It's not a sim, by any stretch of the imagination. I know the tagline for GT Sport is the real driving simulator, but GT has never been a sim. It's always been a, I hate the term, but it's always been a simcade kind of game. Kind of half sim, half arcade. And the fact that it simulates driving, it doesn't really simulate the feeling of racing a car. Well, I say that, I've never raced, so take that with a pinch of salt. But for a game in its category, so you'd put this game against stuff like, again, controversial, Project Cars, some someone flying past my house on a motocross bike. Yeah, put this game in the same kind of category, or I would at least, of things like Project Cars, Forza, and on a wheel, for me, it's the best of the three. You could have a lot of people argue for Project Cars, but Project Cars for me, especially on the G29, feels very washy, very vague. Out of the box, this game feels good. You don't have to mess around with settings, go trawling through YouTube for 6 hours looking for settings for a wheel. You can just plug your wheel in, play, and it feels good. For those of you interested, I know a couple of people have asked on videos what settings I do use for my wheel. I'll show you. That's what I've got mine set to. It's 168. Steering sense at 1, max torque at 6, force feedback 8. I think it gives quite a nice feeling on the G29. But yeah, out of the box and for support, I've been very impressed with GT Sport. Just missing PlayStation and Fanatec getting their act together and offering some proper support for their wheels rather than having to do third-party workarounds. That'd be nice. Be very interested to try a Thrustmaster wheel though. I think that'll be my next gaming related purchase. Always wanted to try a belt driven wheel. I've heard good things about the T300 RS GT, so I'd definitely like to try one of those. It's not to say I've not been very impressed with the G29. I have. I've said it on multiple occasions. Very, very good piece of kit. Very sturdy. You can tell it will last you for a good while. Mine gets some hammer and it never misses a beat really. As I said, the only difference, or the only criticism I have of it is sometimes when you change in direction quickly, you get a bit of backlash in the gears and it feels a bit crap. But other than that, can't fault it. Quality of the materials is good. It feels nice in your hands. Doesn't get difficult to use after a period of time. It doesn't feel horrible. It doesn't wear your hands down or anything like that, or become sore. Or pedals are good. Brake pedal in particular is a huge improvement on the G27. There are still better brake mods available, but out of the box it's a much better solution than the G27 was. G27 pedal on the brakes was very loose, kind of felt more like a clutch pedal than a brake pedal. So good that they've addressed that. But yeah, back to the original point. Don't think either control method is faster. We've got a guy on the team, Jamie, who uses a controller regularly at the top of the Nations Cup standings. Some of the fastest guys use pads. That can be said on a lot of games as well. There's a lot of quick pad users on even Project Cars, even though that game on a pad is not what I'd describe as fantastic. Forza, that game is ruled by the pad, to be fair. I don't know anyone really who competes at the top level of Forza on a wheel, which is unfortunate. But Turn 10 obviously don't just value that kind of support. There was a chap, I remember, qualified for the Forza Racing Championship last year, JSR Zoom I believe. He uses a wheel, used a wheel all the way through qualification, qualified for Forza Racing Championship, and they made him use a controller. Which is unfortunate. All that practice down the drain because the developers won't support the peripheral that you want to use. In terms of viewership as well, I think it would be interesting, more interesting to see people using wheels than pads. It's more immersive for a viewer. It's more relatable to real world racing. I think that's probably the key to making esports a legitimate thing. The first criticism or critique you're going to get from people that watch real world racing in comparison to people that watch esports is the peripheral, I think. And And whilst obviously not all of your audience is going to be people that come from Royal Racing, I think a lot of people are going to, just out of curiosity. I think there's a lot to be said as well for esports in racing terms. You're going to get some very exciting races because the stakes aren't as high. You're not playing with your life. Oh, shitting out. That could have been extremely quick again. Just that chicane. We nailed that chicane. Well, I say that, we've nailed the chicane before and come through this sector with a 52.6 and then ballsed up the easiest 2 corners on the track, so... But yeah, if you've not visited the channel before, esports and legitimising racing. Esports versus... you know, real life racing. Sorry, I was reading the chat. Something I'm quite passionate about. It's not far away, I don't think. Saw some extremely cool stuff with Rudy Van Buren winning the world's fastest gamer. If you've not seen that, definitely worth a look. He raced in the Race of Champions in Riyadh this past weekend against real life racing drivers and actually beat 2 hugely successful racing drivers, Timo Bernhard being one. I can't remember off the top of my head who the other was, but that is extremely impressive, and I think it puts to bed this whole debate on whether people that race in sim racing can make the transition to a real life vehicle. It's been done on multiple occasions. I don't know why the drum's still being beat. Jan Mardenborough been extremely successful in GT cars. I believe he's actually an LMP2 Le Mans winner. And he started off on Forza and migrated to Gran Turismo and won the GT Academy series. Lucas Ordonez as well, been extremely successful. Rudy Van Buren again, won the world's fastest gamer and has done some absolutely incredible things at Race of Champions Riyadh this weekend. So it's not up for debate anymore, I don't think. I believe we've got Will Byron as well, who's made the transition from the iRacing NASCAR Championship to actually racing in NASCAR next season, which again, absolutely insane, but it can be done. There's no reason why people who are good on a sim can't make that transition into a real life racing car. It's obviously going to be a different feeling. You're going to have to battle fear, you're going to have to be fit and ready. But it's not like they're just sticking you in an alien spaceship all of a sudden. This is something you're going to be quite familiar with. It's a car, it has 4 wheels. It's going to feel similar. To a real life vehicle. Similar to any sim you've ever used. So, yeah, as you can tell, something I've championed for a long time, and hopefully it's some doors are going to start opening. Probably too old for it myself at this point, which is unfortunate. But it'd be absolutely fantastic to see that gap getting bridged more consistently, rather than it just being once every few years. Judging by McLaren's response to the world's fastest gamer, it's something that's going to happen more regularly as well, which will be absolutely fantastic to see. God, I'm terrible through there at the minute. What's P1? I don't know what you mean. Yeah, Carl, I would absolutely love for that to happen. My goal, I don't know if it's realistic or not, it's my birthday in June. And my goal for June is to be at 5,000 subs. Yeah, P1 is basically number 1, position 1, pole position. Yeah, the goal is to be at 5,000. I mean, numbers realistically aren't the be all and end all. I do it because I enjoy it, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. And I think we've got a really nice little community with some great guys that contribute. We have some really good fun in the open lobbies and stuff like that, and I'm keen to kind of preserve that. At the same time, if I could do something like this for a living, it'd be amazing. So, as you can probably tell from my streams, it's something that I love and I feel very strongly and passionately about. So, yeah, it'd be dream job. Yeah, I can't get my words out. Territory, you know what I mean. But at the same time, you can never, I don't think, ever really call something that you enjoy so much your job. And you know what? If the channel continues to grow, then so be it. It'd be absolutely amazing. But if it doesn't, and we just stick with this core of guys and we have fun, that's great as well. I know Steve's quite busy at the moment, but I have mentioned potentially doing an open lobby with the both of us in there, which I think will be extremely fun. So we will get that done at some point. We'll try and get that done at some point. Steve's a very difficult man to pin down, as I'm sure you can imagine. Very busy. I was actually in town today in W.H. Smith. You'll know that if you are a Brit or English or wherever W.H. Smith is. And he's in the Guinness World Records 2018 Gamer Edition in the Forza section, which was very cool. Also very cool to see that when he was put in the book, he had 35,000 subscribers, and now he's got 65,000. So huge amount of growth in less than a year for Steve, which is absolutely amazing because he deserves it. Extremely nice guy.
I'm rocking.
I was actually looking for party stuff. It's my both of my son's birthdays this month. One's turning 2 and one is turning 4, so we're looking at party things. We've got them a magician. It's going to be very fun. So looking at balloons and stuff. We just happened to find ourselves in W.H. Smith. This guy is, I've noticed since the last race, always flashing his lights behind me. He's got light Tourette's. Pretty solid start. Oh, deep into the chicane though, we're going to have to bring that back, which is going to cost us a lot of time on the exit. I know for certain he would have just picked up a penalty, however. He was all over the grass. He's off again. Oh no. may get a penalty for that. If we do, it's kind of unfortunate, because I don't probably feel like we deserve it. We just caught the grass on the entry into the corner, and it's extremely bad place to be. Just fires you off straight on. Actually did very well to keep that from being a much more severe incident. I think the chap behind us is finding it quite difficult to keep pace, which is manifesting in quite a few mistakes. Say that and I chucked the car up the banking at turn 1, so can't really say anything about mistakes so far. Bit of a poor turn 1 there as well. It's weird, in qualifying I can bang the car around in under 17 seconds, 1 minute 17 seconds. Under 17 seconds we'd have an issue. Under 1 minute 17, no issue. When it comes to the race, it's like my brain stops working properly. It's odd, I think I'm subconsciously being a lot safer through the chicane, but I don't feel nervous or anything like that. It's not a nervous kind of pace issue. Quite happy to fight with the guy for the win, and if I come second, I come second. Poor exit, and he's got a good one. Alright, let's try and put a decent lap together. Let's go quali mode. Or if we're into Formula 1, hammer time. Not really sure you can call that first sector hammer time, but we're there or thereabouts. Just made a little mistake through the chicane, which has given us the breathing room to wrap this one up. Bit of a scruffy one. Got another one in the bag, nonetheless. Our race pace probably isn't where we want it to be, actually. It's the only time I had to upload on a very busy day. don't think it makes a massive difference, to be honest. When I upload it, it's kind of moot. I mean, the time would still be good enough for 5th now. Plus, if you upload it after the event's finished, part of the reason for my channel and part of the reason for the video is I try and help people. There's no point trying to help people on a race that doesn't exist anymore. Oh. Plus obviously working full time, trying to get videos out, having 2 children, it just means that when I can get a video uploaded, I do. I don't really usually have the luxury of waiting, and I don't like to schedule videos or anything like that either. I'd rather just get them up. That's why my uploads are kind of scattered around different times and stuff like that. Oh. Back down to 3rd. Oh, hello. Not concentrating. Blame chat. too much speed into the chicane. Don't know if that was necessarily worth a penalty. can definitely do that. I can definitely get that first place back. Yeah, the penalties through the chicane are inconsistent. Like I said earlier, you can get like a 23-second penalty if you cut the first bit, a 14-second penalty if you cut the second bit, and a 1-second penalty if you cut the third bit. Like, I don't understand the difference. You're gaining roughly the same amount of time no matter which bit of it you cut. So why are the penalties so vastly different? It doesn't make any sense. one weird thing about penalties as well is, like you say, you can bring them down as you race. It's kind of difficult on this track because of the nature of it and the sweeping turns and stuff like that. But also, if you try and remove a penalty in a straight line, sometimes it takes absolutely ages for the penalty to start coming off. Particularly noticeable on tracks like Brands Hatch, where you try and run a penalty down on the back straight and it literally does absolutely nothing. Cheers, Ryan. Appreciate it, dude. Glad you're enjoying it. And if you are enjoying it, guys, I would love a quick second to whack a like on it. It does make a difference. Makes a huge difference to the amount of people that see it and things like that in future. So, yeah, if you could, you're enjoying it. Obviously, it's not an obligation. I'm not going to come round and take control of your phone, tablet, or laptop. But if you are enjoying it, a like would be great. And if you are new and you want to get involved with the community, get involved in some of these spicy open lobbies and see a bit more, if you hit that little red button, that'll subscribe you to the channel. You can turn notifications on from there and you'll be notified every time I go live, or every time I upload a video. It's win-win, really. Oh, we've got flashy lights behind us again. Different guy this time. Oh, interesting line through there that time. A bit more committed through the chicane that time to try and build a gap, and it looks like it's worked. Buckets of understeer through the hairpin though. Mowed the lawn a bit on the exit. A bit early on the power, had to bleed off a bit, which is going to cost us up the hill. But luckily there's no one too close to benefit. Been missing out on fastest laps a bit the last couple of races, so we'll definitely try and nail one of those in this time. If I can actually try and not die at the chicane, that would be great. Did a little bit of a poo in my pants then, because I thought we were sailing wide. Oh, four-wheel drift, beautiful. I've forgotten how to take the final corner, you know. Absolutely nowhere near at the minute. Gonna get a drink after this one, I think, guys, because I am absolutely parched. It's only just dawned on me that I've been streaming for about 2 hours and I've not had a drink. I've not got up to stretch my legs. Definitely not good for you. Do not recommend. Oh no, we stacked it. I knew I was carrying a lot of speed through there. Not quite that much. It was one of those that was on the edge of perfect. Just the wrong side of the edge. We've got a nice healthy gap anyway, so why not push and try and get a stonking lap on the board. Spice the race up a little bit. It can get a bit lonely at the front sometimes. And obviously I don't want you guys to fall into comas on me, so... Right, let's try and get a 16. We've not got a 16 in a race yet. We're banging them out left, right and centre in quali, so... Absolutely shocking first corner. Somehow we've escaped it with a semi-decent first sector time. Much better through turn whatever. Semi-attack the chicane. Neat and tidy through the hairpin. Solid last corner. Still losing a bit of time there. That'll do. We got what we wanted without being too gung-ho through the chicane or anything like that. Ryan's made up a few places. Solid effort. We'll give Ryan a shout out. The only person in the top 5 using a Mazda, and he's come through from a lower position than that. I know that for certain. So well played, and I know he watches the stream as well. So he gets my props. It depends on the track, MKD. Today, it didn't take me long, probably 5 or 6 to get into the top 10, and then probably another 4 or 5 to get number 1. On other tracks, it takes a little bit longer. Some tracks, I can be in the top 10 within 2 or 3 laps. I don't find there's a particular one where I struggle in particular. I think the main... I know where he's Ryan, well played, man. I think the main tracks at the moment that I think I need a bit of improvement on would be Dragon Trail and Suzuka. Which is odd, because Dragon Trail was the one that I usually raced the most at the start. But then kind of neglected it a bit, and now I'm a bit rubbish, especially through that first sector. That first sector I lose a lot of time at the moment. So a bit of practice needed on Dragon Trail. Kyoto tracks I'm pretty strong at. Maggiore pretty strong there too. But yeah, need a bit of improvement. I've not really lapped Monza and Angi yet either, so looking forward to seeing that back in the rotation, preferably in Group 4. That'll be cool. Be nice to do a video on Monza as well. Alright. See if this lap time will continue to evade us. It depends, Shadow. It depends on the corner. It depends on the type of corner. Some it's better to attack hard. Some it's better to, like you say, slow in fast out. Things like the hairpin on this track, for example. The chicane requires a completely different approach to the hairpin. The chicane you really need to attack and go in fast and carry the speed through, carry the momentum through, get on the power nice and early. Whereas the hairpin, you need to be patient. You need to get the turn in done. You need to, brake in a nice straight line, trail brake in to get the car rotated, and then power out. So yeah, it very much depends on the corner, the type of corner that you're faced with. Right, I said I'd get a drink after this one, so that's what I'm going to do. I'll be back in 2 minutes, guys. Will not be long. I would give the Mazda a try, Ronzi, but the problem is I'm that in the zone now with the Bugatti that I feel like if I get in the Mazda, even if I like it, then I'll get back in the Bugatti and I'll be nowhere. It always happens. Like I remember I did a Group 4 race in the M4. I know, I've seen. I've lost number 1 to my teammate Callum, and then number 2, I think PT has taken that off me. We can go faster. It's just stringing the lap together. Be nice to finish out the day on in number 1, but it's not a big deal if not. It's nice to be in the top 10 stars regardless. Is anyone in the chat from America or the Americas, Brazil, anything like that? So I'd say it will be very interesting to see what the top 10 times are in the Americas. Let me know. Just had to wander away from my seat a second, guys, so if I do get a bit quieter, you know why. Have a quick look at this GT Planet. See that as well while I'm here. Yeah, of course you can, Ronzi. F4H. back in a second, guys. Oh, right guys, just in time by the looks of things. Oh. Yeah, just had a quick look at that GT Planet thread. Don't think it's particularly on that someone finds it necessary to go in there and post my video and basically say I'm shit and I'm not usually in the top 10 or whatever. That guy seems to have quite an issue with me for some reason. Like, he's posted on my videos before, follows the YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure he's subscribed to the YouTube channel, but obviously doesn't rate me or whatever, which is fine, that's his prerogative. But then to go and post my video on a forum and try and bash me without me knowing, like, if you're going to do that, at least have the decency to tag me, so that then I can, you know, put forward my opinion from the other side of things. But yeah, I just don't like people like that. He's a bit snaky. And for what it's worth, I'm not a person that will sit here and brag about how fast or not fast or whatever I am. I don't think I've ever done that on stream. But I feel confident that if I wanted to, I could be quite happy to pop a time in the top 10 most days. It's not, you know, yeah, I don't know. I'd rather not get into that conversation, to be honest. But yeah, that guy's clearly a dick. I'll add everyone later on, don't worry. I'll get a stack of them and go through them all. But yeah, that's not on, I don't think. Like, he's gone onto a forum with my video, posted it, with the whole intention, basically. It's not about using counter steer assist or anything like that. It's just about, haha, here's this guy, clearly shit. Which is just dickish. And if you're watching Nordcrane, I'd rather you unsubbed and just fucked off somewhere else, mate. We don't need your negativity around here. That's how I feel about it, genuinely. I'd rather have one less viewer and a viewer and a supportive community than that kind of toxicity or whatever. Right, I'm going to get back into a positive mindset. It'll bum me out a bit. Good start to the race, got a nice 1 second gap. Solid first lap as well, that. Nice four-wheel drift into turn 1. It's lost us a bit of time, but maximum style points. Maybe it's just like little differences with the community and stuff, like, as I say, coming from Forza, the guys over there are quite happy to abuse any mechanic whatsoever to go as fast as possible, so... I mean, for me, like I said earlier, the counter steer assist doesn't make that much of a difference, honestly. Especially in this car. I feel like the car is probably a little bit less compliant with it on even. But I think after this off stream I'm going to go and run a quick lap without it on and just post it on YouTube for that one particular guy. And that'll be a as good a response as necessary. Brakes for the hairpin. Can't brake really well then for some reason. very nearly lost the rear then. Much better through the hairpin. All the time we lost through the chicane we gained back. Solid race that one. Another W in the books and a nice 16 to finish it off as well. Interesting, 116.1 to a 117.5, so their spread is a lot higher than ours then. We've got to be close to SS now. We've got to be. That's ideally what I'm trying to do. I think one race maybe. Which works, because I think we're probably going to do one more to finish the stream off, guys. Got a nice few wins under the belt tonight. Pole position in every race as well, which is nice. Creaky seat. What I was actually thinking of doing, guys, so might as well put it out there while there's a few of you in here. I was going to do a video series of the difference between a number 10 time and a number 1 time. So basically put them both side by side in a video. You know, like kind of, if you watch Formula 1, they do like side by side, pole versus second. They did it a lot when Rosberg was against Hamilton, where they'll put 2 laps side by side, and you'll notice obviously that small differences make a big difference at the end of the lap or whatever. Usually in Hamilton's favour. Hey. But yeah, I was thinking about doing some videos like that, analysing laps side by side, little differences that make the difference between being at the top of the leaderboards and being in 10th. I think that could be quite cool. Kind of show what the fine margins are. Left tyre just unloaded then as I tried to turn in. Not ideal. That was so close. I definitely want to do more like tutorial based videos rather than just hot laps or daily races or stuff. I think it'll spice the channel up a bit and add some different stuff. The only issue really is when I've done tutorial videos in the past, it seems like it's not what people want to watch as much. They definitely get less attention in terms of like comments and views and stuff like that. And obviously it's not necessarily the views that matter, but at the same time you don't want to alienate your audience, if that makes any sense. Well, that's a terrible cut. But yeah, doing some lap analysis and stuff like that side by side would be cool. I need to teach myself in my spare time, of which I don't have much, how to use Adobe as well. My friend was gracious enough to get me the Adobe suite through work, which is extremely cool, but at the same time also extremely difficult to learn. So I'm sticking with the old faithful iMovie at the moment, which is kind of restrictive on what I can do. But I need to, I owe it to myself to learn how to use the Adobe software, because it'll only increase the quality of the videos. Which is good for everybody. Got a 15 still evading me, but slight improvement. back up into second. There was definitely more time in the last corner, which I think is what cost us probably a 15 rather than a 16. But we'll take that for an improvement for sure. Extremely close to our optimal on that little run as well. I think I've done more than 2. Not many more. I think I've done Nürburgring. What else? Oh, what have I flipping done here? Uh-oh. I've done Nürburgring, for the Nordschleife, which took a long time. That's split into 4 parts. Alsace Village, Bathurst, Maggiore. So there is a few. Working our way through them all. This will be a tough race. Second, very fast. That's good to hear. They're designed to help, and I'm glad that they are. The Bathurst one was very fun to make. Although the problem with the older ones that I've done, so Bathurst and Alsace, they were done before the patch that changed the grip levels of the car, so they seem extremely slow now. I mean, you can get a Group 3 car around Bathurst now in less than 2 minutes and 1 second, whereas I'm literally hustling it around there trying to do what I can. What's up, Ryan? I need to change my my intro and outro thing. It's always hello and thanks for the race or whatever. I need to get creative. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. mthomas_95. Should be fun. Be very close. Only 4 tenths between us both. Last race of the night as well. So, be good to finish on a win. On a W. a fun race, this, I can tell already. Provided that the Brit behind us stays out of trouble and stays nice and close in the draft, this is going to be a fun race. Be a good one to finish the night on. Levels of grip around that corner are absolutely insane. Nice and tidy through the chicane first time round. Don't want a repeat of that first race where we decided that the chicane needed to be cut and cost ourselves the race with a nice hefty penalty. Solid first lap. Not quite the fastest we've managed, but enough so far. Building up a semi-decent gap to second. He's out of tow range at the moment, which is good for us. Just need to keep building on that. Very fast first sector. Where was that on our hot lap? That would have been the difference between a 16 and a 15. Bit of a dodgy line into the final corner there. All over the show. Still a 16 though, we'll take that. A better final corner. Slight improvement on the lap time. First corner felt nice. Don't know if it was fast or not. We'll find out at sector 1. Pretty much bang on what we did the lap before. Lost a bit of time through that sweeping left-hander. I got a bit scared that I was going to run off. Got a bit of a different line to usual. I thought discretion was the better part of valour in that situation. No point chucking away the race for a fast lap. Been very consistent this race, I will say that. I think this might work out if we nail the last corner to be the fastest lap of all though. Maybe a 10th. about bang on. That's not a bad race to finish on. I think we're pretty strong in that one. It would have taken a lot to have taken that one away from us. We were very consistently in the high 16s, low 17s as well, and we've peaked basically in our final race, which is extremely nice. And that would be a nice race actually to hit SS on. So fingers crossed. Hey Alan, how you doing, bro? Nice to see you. Congrats on the quick lap as well. I did notice in the chat. Great effort. I'm pretty sure we're still AS, unfortunately. Whoa! M. Thomas with a 16.7 at the end. I think he took fastest lap off us by about 100th of a second. Not quite SS. I think we probably must be about as close as you can get to being SS without being SS. The bar is pretty much full. I suppose that's a good way to end tonight. We're very close, and we can make that happen on video tomorrow, maybe, depending on what the daily races are. I'm actually off work until Friday, so let's have a look at the top 10. There he is, Alan sneaking his way into 10th. Beautiful. Whoa. And PT's gone fastest. 15.8. He must be motoring along on that lap. That is about what the car will do, I think. Next open lobby will be Thursday. We'll do that on the next stream. But yes, guys, that's the end for tonight. Nice 3-hour stream. We'll take that. Enjoyed that one. Thank you everyone for watching. It's been a lot of fun. Video tomorrow. Don't know what on yet. Be interesting to see what it's the Nations Cup tomorrow. Group 3 at Nürburgring. What about manufacturers? Oh, Group 4 at Alsace. That's what we'll do our video on tomorrow. You can join from America. Any open lobbies are open to all. They're not region locked. Don't have to be European. Be from anywhere. Feel free to join in. Obviously, as long as your connection's fine, then we're golden. We do try and rotate it as much as possible because the open lobbies are quite popular and they can only get 16 in a lobby, so try and make sure everyone gets a fair crack at it. So make sure if you are interested in doing the open lobby, you hit that little red button and turn your notifications on for when I go live on Thursday. But yeah, thanks ever so much for watching, guys. If you did enjoy it, feel free to whack a like on it. As I said earlier, it does help. Helps me get more, what am I trying to say? Exposure, I guess. So we can grow the stream and hopefully get more GT sport lovers on board. But have a great evening, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all soon.